Stop blowing smoke out the window and blow it up your own ass.
I'm a bad bitch, fuck the bitch. Bitch gets slick, I'ma cut the bitch.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Kata Siobhan, and this is Kata's Queendom. Today, we are doing a different type of video than you guys are typically used to seeing on my channel. We are turning this channel around. I'm going to be making entirely different videos. I've decided that I actually want to do something and I actually want to say something with my platform. So I'm deciding to go a completely different direction. If you couldn't tell by the title of today's video, we are talking about the 10 tips that I am using to become her with my depression. Ooh, yeah, because she be kicking my tail, like, for real. And I feel like it's something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that needs to be talked about, because I feel like it's not just me. I'm someone who is depressed and high functioning. My issues affect me daily, like every single day. It's something that I'm consciously having to deal with, something I'm consciously having to like stay aware of and stay on top of because of how serious my symptoms can be. My depression used to be the most difficult thing in my life. It used to follow me like a stalker is what I felt like, is what I like often compared it to, or like being in a pool full of people but no one can see me drowning. It always has been something that's been rather consuming in my life. And to combat these emotions, I've been learning different tips and tricks that help myself be able to move forward in a different way by remaining conscious of myself, my mindset, and my thoughts. For example, I use different music playlists that I have labeled based on my mood to help me move through my emotions more efficiently, because I'm somebody who I have to cry it out. I have to be able to have my moment. I have to be able to have my tantrum. I have to be able to cry and scream to the sky and do whatever I need to do before I can fully move on. Because when I try to ignore those emotions, they just come back 10 times harder, 10 times worse, 10 times stronger than if I would have just dealt with it a little bit in the moment. So I use music playlists to help me get through the cycle of emotions a bit quicker. I typically start with like sad music, and for like 10, 15 minutes, I'll listen to only sad songs, sitting there crying in my bed, under my covers, cussing at God, like the whole nine. And then, but after that 10, 15 minute point, we cut that shit off. There's no more crying. The crying is done. You've had your moment to express and feel those emotions in all of their strength and power. And now it's time for you to turn up, because you a bad bitch and you got shit to do. Period. So for the next 10, 15 minutes, I play songs that make me feel good. I play songs that make me feel encouraged, that make me feel motivated, that make me feel like I'm the absolute shit. And then I can move on with the rest of my life. That's been something that helps me out greatly. And I've started recording them, but I don't know if I'm gonna post them because it's like hella embarrassing. But I also feel like it's something that needs to be talked about. Like I said, I've also learned you have to be absolutely delusional about yourself and your life. Nothing anybody else says ever can matter, ever, because you have to be so like in your element, fantastical, whimsical about yourself and who you are in your life. You have to completely change how you think about things. You have to completely change the way you view things and the limiting structures that you place in your brain. And that's the only way to unlock the confidence and the creativity that is needed to be something like a content creator or a business owner, or, you know, whatever the girlies is trying to get into. You need to unlock a level of confidence and creativity that is often blocked by depression, or, you know, whatever your mental illness is.
Later.
Baby, make that vision board. Make the vision board. Mine's not nothing fancy or nothing. I did it right on Canva. Looking at it every time I'm about to do content, or looking at it every time I'm about to start my schoolwork, or when I'm feeling low about having to go to my 9 to 5. Baby, look at that vision board, and then you can see yourself in your dreams again, and it kind of give you a little bit of boost of energy, a little bit of boost of confidence of like, oh yeah, now you remember what you're working towards, baby. Make that vision board. We got to talk about the inconsistency. I myself am guilty of it, and that's why I'm bringing it up in this video. 1 week is a break. 2 weeks is a hiatus. 3 weeks is no effort being made. That's just the simple truth. If you haven't touched something that is a passion of yours in over 3 weeks, effort depleted. It's also important to make sure that you're keeping aware of how much time is passing before you are tapping into your passions again, because you need to notice what your signs are for illness. What are your signs that tell you that you are not okay? What are the things that are showing you that there is an obvious problem occurring? For me personally, if I know that I'm not doing well mentally, if I haven't showered, if I haven't brushed my teeth, if I haven't eaten, if all I want to do is sleep, cry, and stay in my bed, those are the clear indicators for me that I've already missed the mark and now I'm in my depression. That leads me right into my next point. Understand what your triggers are. What is going to be something that hinders you? You have to learn how to live with the illness regardless, because we all have them. But you need to be more aware and more proactive in avoiding the things that trigger you. What is making you feel unmotivated? What is making you feel unsafe? What is making you feel stressed? What is making you feel anxious? What is making you feel depressed? You need to understand what these issues are and figure out how to eliminate them. Leading me right into my next point yet again, you need to identify what makes you happy. What are things that you enjoy? But I personally always say that I feel like my happiness always comes in moments. I'm never just allowed to just be happy. I feel like I live in a constant state of sadness, a constant state of depression. And when I'm happy, it comes in little windows and glimpses of things that I can see. And so I'm tired of living in the windows. I'm tired of living in the moments and holding on to them so tough because I don't know when another one's going to come. We're going to get out of the moments and we are going to start living happy lives. You need to understand what makes you happy and what brings you joy to lead a happier life. Understanding how your illness affects you. For me personally, I have to find ways to support myself through different things because I know that it's too much for me to take on. I have to support myself through it some kind of way. And what I mean by that is giving examples like getting your clothes ready for work the night before because you know that you have a lot of homework to do tonight and you're going to be going to bed late anyway. So you know that you're going to have issues getting up in the morning. Maybe you should just pick out those clothes right now. You have to be able to adapt and recognize the small changes that need to be made in your life, in your livelihood, in order to support your mental health in a healthy way. The way that you stay mentally healthy is to continue to maintain and support yourself. You can't just get healthy and then expect it to stay that way. I'm somebody who's guilty of those thoughts. Baby, it's a constant process to maintain mental health, especially if you actually have been diagnosed with illness. And so you need to be able to adapt and make the changes needed to support yourself. I should have been numbering these. Whatever. Last point. The pretend factor is real. What makes you feel pretty? What makes you feel attractive? What makes you feel sexy? Because you need to maximize these feelings and live in them as much as possible. You need to understand what your requirements are for you to feel the best you can feel. What are the non-negotiables for you to be your best self? And then understand what is needed and required to maintain that. Because for me, I'm somebody who doesn't always feel like being a content creator if my hair's not done. I'm not somebody who doesn't want to create content if my nails aren't done. You need to understand what is required to maintain the things that sustain your happiness. This is how I build discipline and healthy habits as a depressed, high-achieving, pothead 20-year-old in college and still move towards all my goals. Thank you so much for watching this video. Those were my tips on how I'm changing my mindset and my behaviors to become the high-achieving goddess that I envision for myself. I hope that these tips were helpful to you and that you can really use them and implement them in your life and your mental health journey. Love you, royal family, and I'll see y'all for the next one.